What sights do we have to show you? This gun in my hand.
This gun in my hand is sponsored by the National Rifle Manufacturers Association. As we all know, Falk Zildjian's exploits are fictitious, but here's a real-life story of a good guy with a gun. Let your mind drift back 40 years until you can see Mrs. Schmidt's third grade class lined up outside her classroom, waiting for buses to take them home.
Bam! Whoa, you're so lucky I stopped short and didn't really punch you, Bailey. You'd be out cold. Except that wouldn't have happened because I would have blocked it like this, and then I'd go like this, and I would have swept your feet out from under you. Then you'd be on your back totally vulnerable, and I could finish it 7 different ways. It'd be all over for you, Aben. Wrong, because I wouldn't be that slow. When you went like that, I'd go like this, and I'd drive your nose bone up into your brain, and you'd have been dead before you hit the floor. Nuh-uh, because I'd go like this, and like that, and I'd go and like this.
Allow your drifting mind to rejoin us in the present day. Hey, stop drifting. Present day. In the break room at work, Aben watches a TV news story about a mass shooting.
You'd never catch me dead in one of those mass shootings, because I keep my Desert Eagle on me at all times. That guy would bust in the door of the office, and I'd hear him pump his shotgun, and I'd shoot him through the heart before anybody was injured. And then Yolanda would be all thankful, and she'd need me to drive her home and console her because she'd be in such shock.
Aben, why would the bad guy need to pump his shotgun at that moment? He doesn't have a shell chambered already?
Whatever, Charlie. I'd see him raising his gun, and I'd bullseye through his eyeball, and it'd be all over.
So, at work, no matter what room you're in, you're always facing the entrance where a shooter would come?
Pretty much, yeah.
And you walk around the office all day with your pistol down the back of your drawers?
No, it's in my desk, but I could get it quick.
Dozens of people wandering through the cube farm all day and night, and you leave your loaded pistol in a drawer?
Come on, give me some credit. I know how flimsy these desks and cabinets are. So inside the locked drawer, the gun is in a steel lockbox with a different key.
I see. You're going to unlock the drawer, then unlock the lockbox, and outdraw somebody who starts shooting up the place.
He wouldn't be able to shoot up the place because I'd go like this, and then he'd try to go like that, and I go like this.
That's right, Aben. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun who's able to go like this and like this, just like diligent boys and girls have been preparing to do since grade school. Intuitive hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, Falk Zildjian approaches an apparently abandoned building. What casual observers don't realize, and what journalists and hoodlums have failed to dig up, is that this unremarkable structure shares a wall with Rit Breed's luxury apartment building. The seemingly empty building is the headquarters and garage of Rit Breed's crime-fighting alter ego, the Emerald Ash Borer, and his faithful Filipino valet Castro. Making sure he's not seen, Falk knocks with a coded rhythm on the ramshackle door.
Please come in, Mr. Zildjian.
Thanks, Castro. I heard from the wordsmith on the street you wanted to see me.
He really needs to keep workshopping that name. Yes, thank you for coming. I wanted to get your opinion on this new device before I showed it to Breed. You recall the fiascos with the existential crisis gas and defensiveness gas.
I remember.
I'm trying to be more careful about testing things thoroughly before taking them into the field. And I don't want any more of my devices or weapons becoming known to parties that can't be trusted. It's too late to stop the world from learning about napalm or nuclear fission or DARPANET, thanks to Breed's loose lips. What I'm going to show you could be bigger than all of those. Will you swear to me that you'll tell no one about it?
Not even Rit Breed?
Especially not Rit Breed.
Is it because you're planning to go solo and use this device for yourself?
No, I've decided I can serve the greater good by remaining Breed's assistant. No way I could afford this lab or these tools otherwise.
I heard you did some crime fighting on your own recently. Someone chased you off after you intimidated some realtors?
What? No, I left because that guy freaked me out. When did you run into the masochist?
A guy calling himself the Human Resource said he scared you away.
Let me guess. He suggested you give him a humiliating name that would make yours seem more impressive by comparison? He asked you to use him like a tool for whatever purpose you needed? Did he go into his detailed fantasy about getting kidnapped so you could rescue him? Yeah, that's the masochist.
Oh, geez. Well, I referred him to Doc Salvage for the surgery. I wasn't trying to kink shame him or anything.
That's okay. Doc can leave the kinks in place and cauterize the parts that make him a schmuck.
So what's this device?
First things first, do you mind signing this?
A non-disclosure agreement?
It's just standard stuff. After I got the trademark registered for the Infern-O-scope, my lawyer gave me some forms to use in a situation like this.
That's fine.
As you can see, it appears to be a simple projector. I have the screen pulled down on that wall. This unusual bit of interface on the end of a wire is held under the tongue of the person using the Infern-O-scope, like so. I think the name of the device conveys its function.
I can't understand you. Can you explain it to me and then bite down on the interface thing?
I said the name of the device conveys its function. To put it simply, the Infern-O-scope allows a person to see into hell.
You don't seem like the type for practical jokes, so I'm guessing another chemical weapon has affected you.
Keep your eye on the screen. It takes a few seconds to warm up.
Good Lord.
Perhaps I should have prepared you more for the shock of it. It's quite a sight.
Shite?
I can't take it out of my mouth now or I'll lose the picture. If this is the same level of the damned I tuned in before, yes, what we're seeing are pharmaceutical executives. Pharmaceutical executives. That other thing is a demon.
Ow! If developing countries try to manufacture our vaccine, we won't be sure of the quality they'd produce. Ah!
India manufactures more vaccines than any other country in the world, scumbag.
No, but ow! If we just give away our formulas for these medical breakthroughs, then then China and India and South Africa will be able to develop new drugs and outcompete the United States.
You're talking about members of your same species. You were almost human once, remember?
No! Stop!
What about those thousands of people behind him? What were their sins?
This whole level is medical profiteers. But I can tune in to show you some others.
Wait, is that smirking, dorky-looking guy Gil Bates, the recently divorced fourth richest person in the world? This can't be a vision of hell. Gil Bates is still alive.
It's possible the Infern-O-scope shows a view of hell in the future, which could have amazing possibilities. I might be able to tweak it to show Earth in the future or past. Here's a different group of the damned. A few bad apples.
Wow, a few quadrillion bad apples.
Here we see all the people who blast music in their cars while I'm trying to sleep.
I've seen that lady in her Mustang cruising around Heck's Pantry. This seems like an unlikely coincidence. Hell would have billions of souls in it. What are the chances we'd see one from our town?
Here are the people who create DVDs for widescreen movies with subtitles aligned way at the bottom so they'd be cut off if you set your TV to widescreen.
How can you tell they're guilty of that?
And this is George Malkowski. I went to middle school with him. Total jerk.
Ow! Damn it! Why don't you watch where you're going with that pitchfork?
To no death, George. You must fork life in the gallbladder.
Ow!
What do you think?
That got really specific. Are you sure this is a vision of hell?
What else could it be?
You don't have any qualms about these people going to hell, right? They all deserve it and you're happy to see them there?
Sure.
I'm not saying I feel bad for them necessarily. Could you explain that electric cord thing that plugs in under your tongue?
I think the device enhances latent psychic abilities in the person using the Infern-O-scope. The interface cord is like an antenna. You know when you grab the rabbit ears on your TV with one hand and hold out your other hand, kind of waving around until the picture comes in clear?
I've never had a television, but I understand the concept.
I've tried the interface cord looped over my ear, around my neck, under my armpit. Somehow it works best when I hold it under my tongue.
Maybe it's just showing what you want to see, your fantasies.
No, I have better fantasies than that.
Well, like I said, these were all people you wouldn't mind seeing in hell. In fact, you might enjoy seeing it.
Let's do a control measurement then. You try it.
Have you been holding that thing anyplace other than your armpit or under your tongue?
Here, I'll wash it off for you.
You're just going to rinse it off? Don't tell me with this whole lab full of stuff you have no soap.
Fine, here. I'm the one who should be more worried about catching cooties.
What do I just Okay.
Give it a minute to warm up.
It's still warm.
I mean the projector, not the mouthpiece. Whoa, who's she?
Thank you for walking me home, Falk. This is my building. If you have some time, would you like to come up to my garret and see some of my etchings?
What you have here is a fantasy projector, Castro. I'm not sure how you'll use it for crime fighting, but it's still an incredible achievement.
That could still be someone's vision of hell. Maybe the devils allow that woman to act out her seductions like she did on Earth before they start tormenting her.
I'll plug in again. Keep walking.
Okay, walking up the stairs. Dang, stabilize that shaky camera. It's making me seasick. We see a cozy little studio with a view of the Champs-Élysées. I'm afraid to see what the subjects of her etchings will be. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but maybe I should have. An etching of a broom handle Mauser, Browning automatic rifle, a very tasteful depiction of a Colt M1911A1 in charcoal. I get it. You can stop now.
Her name is Carmela Constant. I met her when she was working the Smith & Wesson booth at the gun show. Her knowledge of personal firearms is encyclopedic.
And here comes another woman from the side door, entering in a cloud of steam and a bathrobe. Her roommate?
That's it. Turn it off.
I can turn off the volume, but it takes a minute to shut down the projector, just like it takes a minute to warm up. Perhaps they're arguing now because one of them is late with her share of the rent. That might be why they're wrestling.
They're not wrestling. Turn it off.
I thought you were an out ace.
What?
I thought you had no interest in romantic or sexual partners.
It's not necessarily all the way on or all the way off. There's a continuum, I guess. What's that got to do with the price of beans anyway? It's nobody's business.
Well, anyway, you made your point. It's not showing a vision of hell. I'll have to keep working on it. I can't think of any applications for the Emerald Ash Borer and his crusade against crime.
So it's just this projector and the tongue interface cord, right? Conveniently portable. Suppose I could take this home to test it some more, so I can give you a more informed opinion?
Nothing doing. I can hardly get to sleep anymore unless I take one last view of the Infern-O-scope at night before I turn in.
But you thought you were watching hell.
Yeah, you were right. I love seeing these rich jerkwads get what they deserve.
Oh, Castro, I didn't know you had company.
I was showing Mr. Zildjian footage of that ice cream vendor you took down last week.
You had a camera trained on that cart? Yeah, he'll think twice about selling without a license next time. Did you show him the radio blaster?
Not yet.
This is my favorite new thing. You will love this. Let's say we're in the Sapphire Studebaker, idling at a stoplight, when an obnoxious car full of ruffians pulls up beside us blasting their infernal radio. The police won't respond to a mobile noise complaint like that. What can you do? Castro developed a narrow-beam electromagnetic pulse cannon. It automatically fires at car stereos played over 85 decibels.
Wow, you are doing the Lord's work.
The only flaw is half the time it fries the radio and half the time it fries the whole car. No one physically injured, but the car won't run again without replacing the battery and all the electronics.
Is that a flaw or a feature?
Seems like the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Making the right choice and being a good guy is difficult sometimes.
It's hell out there.
We can see that.
What?
Infern-O-scope, episode 20 of This Gun in My Hand was invented by Rob Northrop. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, information on how to subscribe, and to buy my books, such as Little Heist in the Big Woods and Other Revisionist Atrocities. Do you see what I see? This gun in my hand.